trying to start my recording. I'm tired. It's 3 in the morning. And I've been trying to set up the settings here so the sound can sound right. And my wife is over here snoring away, getting all up in the microphone. So I was gonna pick something out of this bag to throw at her, but I think I was just gonna. Welcome. This is the chapter 9 of our 25 biblical laws to success. This is the law of joy, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so a little nippy tonight. It's raining out. You can probably hear the raining. You hear people snoring, but we are going to be in the law of joy today. Praise the Lord. All right, so little quote on the background got cut off, but I'm not going to complain about it. It says, "You don't know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have," by Barnett. All right, so reading on with chapter 9, the 25 biblical laws of success. I'm trying something a little different with the sound tonight, so hopefully it sounds a lot better. I'm still working on that. I can't get it right. I don't know, it's just too much bass. But this is a quick chapter, so we're going to do this video real fast. It starts out with Philippians chapter 2, verse 14. Do everything without grumbling or arguing. That right there, it's a shot in the gut. We complain all the time about everything. We grumble all the time. But it says, those who waste their time grumbling miss out on the marvelous effects of the law of joy. The Bible expressly mentions, rejoice always, give thanks in all circumstances, in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 16. And rejoice, Philippians chapter 4, verse 4. Someone who gives thanks for everything and rejoices always won't be someone who constantly grumbles. There are people who spend their entire life complaining about what happened to them. Hello. What they were missing, what didn't work out, who betrayed them, and so on. That's all of us. These people are incapable of putting a case closed stamp on their past. That's huge. They are incapable of learning the lessons from the setbacks and then moving on. As the old adage goes, when life gives you lemons, make orange juice, right? Lemonade. The Reverend Elena Alves Silva of the Methodist University says the following about the Esther question, the Queen of Persia. There's a story in the Bible that describes the life of Esther, a girl who was raised by her uncle after her parents died. She was Jewish and suffered the experience of being removed from her homeland to live in a foreign land. Esther took the throne in the place of Vashti, the previous queen who was punished with death for not responding to a call from the king, disobeying his orders. Imagine that. You get killed because you don't answer to your husband or your wife. You're crazy. Despite all the adverse circumstances in her life, Esther played a central role in the story of the Jewish people as a heroine and liberator. The Jews were threatened with death and were also involved in conspiracy organized by Haman, who wanted to see them bowing down and prostrate before him. Esther interceded with the king and ensured that the conspiracy was clarified. Her courage made a difference because she showed herself to be strong, a true warrior, to the end of the story, and the victory were celebrated in great style. The tradition remains until present times in the Jewish holiday of Purim, meaning Day of Luck. Sorry about the snoring, guys. In Esther's story, as in so many others strong women in the Bible, we can draw a lesson. There is no use in complaining about what they have done to us. What matters is knowing what we can do to make a difference from where we are. Another marvelous case in the story. Another marvelous case of joy, despite circumstances, that is worth mentioning is the story that of Joseph, son of Jacob. Victim of his brother's envy, Joseph was sold as a slave to be taken into Egypt. There he ended up at Potiphar's home, where he worked and grew as a person of trust. But Potiphar's wife had other plans. She wanted to have an affair with the young man. Nice. Loyal to his boss, Joseph denied the woman's advances, was falsely accused, and was thrown into prison unfairly. There is no report of Joseph ever having grumbled while in jail. In jail, he continued to act nobly and help others. After a while, he was released, and eventually he became the Egyptian prime minister after predicting a 7-year famine. His story in the book of Genesis, beginning in chapter 37, and is an excellent case of personal and professional success. Some say that when God doesn't change the circumstances, it's because he wants to change you. Nice. In the Bible, Joseph was a victim of injustice and intrigue, but he held to his ethics and the will to help others. I'm going to say it again. Some say that when God doesn't change the circumstances, it's because he wants to change you. Every step of the way, Joseph was gaining wisdom, increasing his experience, and leaving a positive impression on everyone. Instead of complaining, he took action. Instead of grumbling, he learned. His fate was changed by God's blessing, but also by the way he responded to his circumstances. That is huge. We learn in the business that it's not what happens to you, but it's how you respond, right? How you respond means everything, right? And so I know I failed a couple times, even this week. I'm still not perfect, but thank God we have opportunities here to learn and to gain that wisdom, right? To learn from Esther and from Joseph here in this book. We're done with the chapter. I just got a couple lines left. It says, we all know how irritating it is to work alongside a professional who is constantly whining. Try to avoid being this unpleasant companion. Now that hurts deep because, see, social media is a place where people go and vent, myself included. And I'll go out there and I'll share stuff about people and the things that they do, as we all do. But so try not to be. And it says we all know how irritating it is to work alongside a professional who is constantly whining. A professional, I'll never forget the definition from my friend Wolfgang, rest in peace, brother. And he said, if you're a professional, we're all professionals here. And then, because somebody tried to call him out on some mistakes, and he goes, don't talk to me like that. I'm a professional. And I was like, well, you're still kind of new. I wouldn't say you're a professional, but he said, no. If you get paid to do something, you're a professional. You're, they pay you to do the job because you are a professional at the job. If you're not a pro, you ain't gonna get paid. I haven't talked to that guy in 17 years. At the end, I think he passed away from what I heard about 10 years ago. So rest in peace to my brother, Wolfgang. No one like that guy, man. But there's never going to be anybody like that guy. That's what I meant to say. It says, but try to avoid being this unpleasant companion. All right. So try not to be irritating. Try not to be that whiner, that complainer. Start by doing what is necessary. Now, this is huge. All right, we're going to finish off on this note because this whole chapter talked about joy instead of being a complainer or whiner, but always seek the good things, right? Always increase your wisdom like Joseph, increasing your experience, leave a positive impression. Instead of complaining, take action. Instead of grumbling, he learned. His fate was changed by God's blessing. Now, we're finishing off with a quote from St. Francis of Assisi. Start by doing what is necessary, then do what is possible, and suddenly you're doing the impossible. That's huge, guys. That is huge. Start by doing what is necessary, then do what is possible, and then suddenly you're doing the impossible. So if you have such a large feat in front of you, if you have a big goal, Just do the necessary things, right? Cut off what you need to, start doing what you need to, do what is possible, right? So work within your means. Maybe you're not able to get all the way to the top of your goals list already, but reach the highest point of your goal and climb that mountain. But maybe you can set little standards for you in the meantime, right? Take it step by step, one step at a time, and eventually you get to that point. I always remember my friend Pete, when my last job before I retired as a security guard, I worked at the Camelot. There's a bar right there called the Camelot. They changed the name to Carly's at the end. Paradise Isle. There's all kept changing ownership, kept changing names. And there was a Samoan guy who used to drink there. And bars closed at 1:50, 2:00. We're cleaning up, and by 2:30, I'll leave. I'll drive out of the bar, make sure my staff is on the way out, and I would see Pete, the Samoan dude, and he's sitting on the bus stop. And I'm like, damn, buses run this early? And he said, it's the last bus that comes by, and he tries to catch it 2:15. And I said, where you going? And he said, in Compton, down the street from Long Beach, but still, that's it was a long way. And he said that if he doesn't catch that last bus, he's walking. I said, how many times do you have to walk? He said, most of the time. Most of the time, because he'll get out from the bar, then he'll go to the 7-Eleven, he'll make himself some hot dogs, and then by the time he's done eating, he's already missed the bus. And I said, man, that's a long walk. So I gave him a ride. I said, look, I don't want you to walk, man. If you need a ride, let me know. And he was telling me about how it is to walk at 2:30 in the morning, 3:00 to Compton. I said, man, how do you do it? He said, it's easy. I look down and make sure my feet are still moving. Just make sure my feet are still moving. He goes, I'll get there. I said, man, what an awesome way to look at it. You see, what that quote said is, do what's necessary, then do the possible, and soon you'll be doing the impossible. So do what's necessary, cut off what you need to cut off, start the habits you need to start, right? If you want to lose weight, maybe start off cutting this and this and that, right? Little things here and there, and then do what's necessary. Maybe you got to pay for a membership so you can start getting to your workout, and keep that paid up so you can keep going, kick your butt up to get out there and start working out, whatever it is, and this, and then soon you'll be doing the impossible. Next you know, you're down 100 pounds, right? Something you may have thought was impossible. And this could be, you can apply this to your professional life, your relationships, everything. If it's a relationship, do what's necessary. Cut off the friends that aren't helping you in your relationship, right? If you got homies that are messing with your marriage, you got to spend some time with your wife, so maybe cut off some of these other people that aren't, that you don't sleep with, these other people that aren't raising your kids and aren't, in this life, this house with you. Then do what's possible. You might not be able to buy her dream home, her dream car, the diamond rings, but do what's possible. A $5 bouquet of flowers goes a long way, right? It doesn't have to be Valentine's Day. I got my wife some flowers yesterday, and just because it wasn't a special day, it was just for whatever. Do what's possible. Do the little things. Do a little extra. Clean up around the house when you can. Do a little project for the house for your wife to enjoy. Whatever. Do what's possible, right? And then next thing you know, you're doing the impossible. You guys went from a couple that was going this way, and now you guys are, what I'm saying? Whatever it is you want to apply that to, I think that's awesome. And it says the law of joy. The law of joy is just stop grumbling, stop complaining, stop whining about stuff that's going on. This is what happened to me. This is what didn't work out for us. This is the reason why, I lost this person. Dad died, my cousin died, my family died, whatever. We got kicked out, whatever it is. Stop complaining about it, and tap into the law of joy. God will bless you, right? And so that's all for today, guys. Thanks so much for listening in. So shorty today, but may you be blessed in the name of Jesus. Keep on tuning in with the podcast. Oh, also an update. We're gonna try to get this on different platforms and keep this thing going. And soon we'll be upgrading the camera, the laptop, all this, the computer, everything. All right. So I want to do the best I can for you guys. Also look out. I mean, this is for my business page. I do share it on my personal page, but on my personal page, we're also going to start another podcast, get into some daily issues that we gotta face, and some issues that we gotta start asking questions about. But all in all, I pray you guys are blessed. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great day. When y'all wake up in the morning, which is in a couple of hours, I'm gonna try to get some shout out here myself, and praise Jesus, and just be joyful, rejoice all the time. Amen.